Welcome back to Next Level Pets, your home for everything related to living the best life you can with your pets and learning how to heal after they've left us. So, if you've ever loved a pet with your whole heart, then you belong here. Today, I want to share something that came up in a recent conversation with a client, and it's a topic that's very close to my own heart. Today, I want to talk about the difference in my experience between grief and trauma. Okay. A big part of the work that I'm privileged to do and a core part of the Forever in Our Hearts healing program that I created is about helping intercept grief before it turns into trauma. So let me start with a couple of simple definitions. These are just basic everyday definitions, but they're helpful as a starting point. Okay, so grief is a deep sorrow, especially that's caused by someone's death, a pet or a human loved one. Trauma is a deeply distressing or disturbing experience that causes significant psychological or physical harm. And I really wish I had understood this difference when I lost my cat, Dublin. I might have been able to work with my grief sooner before it began to traumatize me. So the pain we experience when we lose a pet is completely natural. And it's not just emotional, it's physical too. We don't only lose someone we love in our hearts and in our minds, our physical reality also changes. Our routines change, our daily behaviors change, our nervous system has to adjust to a completely new world. And when there's nothing to support that transition, when we don't have tools or guidance or understanding for what's happening inside us, grief can begin to harden into trauma. And trauma can interrupt and inhibit our ability to heal. So here's one way I like to think about the difference. Grief is a season of mourning where love is just trying to find a new home. Trauma is when that love has nowhere to go and it starts moving in circles instead of forward. So grief moves, it comes in waves. There are swells of tears and then, moments of calm. It hurts, but it moves. Trauma gets stuck. It's like a wound that keeps getting reopened but never truly heals. The pain doesn't transform, it just repeats. So grief hurts, trauma traps. This distinction is really important for anyone who has lost a pet because it can help you gently ask yourself, where am I in my process right now? And it can also be a signal that you might need some extra support. Grief usually allows space for memories, both the beautiful ones and the painful ones. Trauma, on the other hand, it often blocks memory. And that's not because you're weak, it's just because the nervous system is literally trying to protect you. Trauma lives in the body. It lives in the survival response. It tries to keep you away from anything that feels overwhelming. So even if those memories are ones that hold love, but those memories still belong to us and they need space and time to be gently integrated and not pushed away. When grief gets stuck in a loop, it can slowly become trauma. So if you've watched my videos before, you know that I lost my mom and my cat Dublin within months of each other. And then the pandemic happened. I was left alone to carry both losses at the same time. And looking back, I can see the difference between grief and trauma very, very clearly. I miss my mom in Dublin every day, but I was able to process the grief of losing my mom more easily than losing Dublin. I know it also took me a long time to be able to say that, but I had lived with Dublin for almost 10 years. I didn't have roommates. He was my whole world at home, my routines, my comfort, my sense of presence, my own space. It was all intertwined with him. So when I lost him, it was a shock, not just to my heart, but to my entire nervous system in my daily life. So I'm not going to go into all the differences between human and human loss and pet loss here. You can find more about that in my other videos. But the guilt that I carried over losing Dublin and the absence of his presence in my home haunted me. For almost a year, it was hard to just even come home. The quiet was loud. The emptiness was constant. So instead of facing the grief, I shut down. I avoided it. And slowly that grief turned into a pattern of trauma that I couldn't shake. That is until I finally decided to do something about it. And, that decision is what eventually led me to start creating healing resources and to build the program and to be here talking to you today. So if you're listening to this and if you're struggling, I want to gently invite you to ask yourself, am I in grief right now? Or has my grief become something overwhelming or frightening? And also, am I doing anything to support myself through this? Am I giving my grief a path forward, towards healing? Am I using any tools to help my nervous system feel safe again? If you need more support, you're always welcome to visit my website and see if the Forever in Our Hearts healing program feels like the right fit for you. And you're welcome to leave a comment or ask me a question. I'd be truly honored to help in any way I can. So I'd love to hear from you here, or please feel free to stop by nextlevelpets.love, and that's just as it sounds, nextlevelpets.love, or drop me a comment or send me a message, and I'm here for whatever I can do to help. Thank you so much.